Boom, coming in hot, Chichi, on a Monday.
On a Monday,
go.
you got your day started off. A couple handsome fellas out to breakfast with you. I saw this morning. What'd you do?
Come, I'm the most grateful human being on live. I'm on Planet 9. I'm on Cloud 9 and Planet 9. If there's a Planet 9, I'm on it. If there's a Cloud 9, I'm on it. It's incredible. My son Andrew came home for Easter weekend, which has been great. Who goes to Dayton, and then my son Jake came home. Kent State had an off day today. They swept Bowling Green this weekend, and then they had an off day. So he came in today hanging out, and we went to breakfast this morning. But one of the coolest moments, dude, ever happened for me as a dad last night. We were, I found this box of DVDs, just random DVDs in the attic. And I was like, oh, man, I haven't seen these in a while. It turns out, and VHS tapes too, both. And turns out I found a series in Richmond. I went 4 for 4 against Old Dominion in 1995 with 4 homers. You know, I think we've even talked about
it.
But
we talked about that day.
A dad in the stands videoed it for me, dude. Like just took video of me, and my parents didn't do anything like that. So I've never watched it before. And so I was watching it with my sons last night, which is so cool because it was their age. I was their age, and I was 20 years old doing that. So it was really cool watching that with them. And then, bro, I went and found the Reds. I made this Reds over 8 years or since my first hit to 8 years with the Reds. This guy, Dave Storm, great guy who used to work the scoreboard with the Reds. I paid him some money in the offseason one time to put together these highlight videos because I always loved highlight videos. Well, bro, I had this highlight video and we sat and watched it last night. Man, it was just nice, dude. Like no one cares about my career or anything like that. But you know, to be able to have a highlight video and sit there with your 2 sons that are in college and just have that moment, dude, it was really, 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 I even thanked them this morning. Like, thanks for sitting and watching that with me. And they were like, Dad, that was incredible to watch. Cause I think as you get older and you're playing baseball in college, you understand how hard it is and, you know, all that stuff. So it was just cool, man. Just a cool moment with my kids. I'm so grateful for it, brother.
That's awesome. That reminds me, when I was in high school, there's this guy, his name is Harry, and I'm forgetting his last name, but he made a career out of, you know, getting a huge camcorders like we had back then, not like how they have now. And you sign with him and he would do like a mixtape for you. Nowadays it's all over the internet. Every high school kid has like a mixtape with like music set like a rock show. But back then this guy Harry, I forget his last name, but he would go and he was basically the best guy on Long Island to get your tapes out there to colleges and stuff. And we used to call him Harry the Hat because it's just reminded me of this. Remember back like when we were like in Little League in high school, your hat, like the baseball caps were so cheap. It was like foam insert with the band.
Yeah.
And so this guy's
smoking a smag with it. Like,
So this guy's nickname was Harry the Hat because even when they started making the nice like snapback hats, this guy would wear this like foam rubber hat, like crooked, had a bad bend on the top, and it was Harry the Hat. Harry the Hat got everybody into college scholarships back in the day.
That's great, Harry. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Harry. Got me into Columbia. So, but yeah, you would make VHS tapes, and you would mail the VHS tape to a college, and a guy would look at it and either call you or not. It's a different story.
I know, dude. It's incredible. It's incredible. No, seriously. And dude, nowadays too, like I just saw something on Instagram where you could take your VHS tapes, which I have a million upstairs, box them up, send them to this company, and they just digitize.
We're doing that. Well, Jess's dad has like 1,000 VHS. He had a camera when they were little kids, so like little 2-year-old Jess running around with her sister Vanessa. Like we're getting them all digitized so everybody can see them. Anyway,
it's incredible.
So that's our personal notes for the day. Baseball, so much going on. Let's just start. We'll start with the Rays.
Bro.
Start with the Rays again. 9-0.
I'm going to the Pirate Astro game today, by the way, tonight.
Oh,
Pirates Astros.
We're going to get very much into the Pirates.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah,
but Tampa Bay's 9-0. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Rays, dude. This team turns out is really good.
Mm-hmm.
They're pitching. They've outscored their opponent in their 9 wins 75-18.
Correct.
Like they're winning by 4 more runs every game. I mean, they're closing in on records, MLB records. I mean, they're dominant on the bump, and they're absolutely raking in that lineup top to bottom. How do they do it, dude? The Rays do it every year. Their payroll is like 60 million. I don't even know what it is. I think it's like 60, 70 million, something. it's like basically 3 players on the Padres is the payroll for the freaking, you know, the Rays. I think it's incredible, man. It's incredible. And Kevin Cash, you know, just finds a way to push all the right buttons. Kevin Cash is the modern day Terry Francona.
Nice pull.
Terry Francona and Tito was his mentor, right? You know, like Cash was with the Indians, was with the Red Sox when I was there. But then when Tito went to the Indians, Cash was his right-hand man. Dude, Kevin Cash is the guy. He's going to win championships. And it might not be with the Rays. I hope he does it with the Rays, but he will be a hot commodity at some point, like a Joe Madden was when he went to Chicago from the Angels. Kevin Cash is no secret anymore. Someone at some point when he's a free agent is going to pay for him to come, you know, win some championships.
You know, when I knew Kevin Cash was going to be good was when I used to work with all you guys, like you and Millar and Dempster and all those guys. And like the enthusiasm you guys all had when he finally got, you know, to become a major league manager is like, it's like the entire fraternity of really nice, really good baseball players of your generation were like, this guy's going to be the greatest. And like, it was nonstop. It was everybody. Mike Lowe, all you guys loved him and loved the play.
We knew it because we know the guy. So for them to be 9-0, listen, he might win it with the Rays some point, but I'm just saying Kevin Cash is going to be a manager as long as he wants to be.
Yeah. And you know, actually that brings up kind of like a little bit of theme, like him, Booney. Let's go. Where else?
Alex Cora. David Ross.
You know, it's the former players now. It's not that, you know, it was getting to a nervous position where they were going to start putting like analytics guys in dugouts for managers. And I think we are seeing proof positive that the guys that played the game, that have the eyes for the game, that understand how difficult the game is, are probably the best managers in the game right now. Generally speaking.
I totally agree. And like, I know we had talked about this when David Ross was on, but dude, the bench players on the 2008 Red Sox were me, Alex Cora, Kevin Cash, and who was the other guy? Me, Alex Cora, Kevin Cash, and Rossi and David Ross.
Wow.
We were the four guys on the bench.
And who was your manager that year?
That was Tito.
There you go. There you go. It's the tree. The tree of life.
So
the tree of coaching life comes from
dude. Listen, there's always got to be balance in baseball. It's got to be part analytic nowadays, but you got to have guys that have been there, done that. This game is too hard mentally to not have guys that have understood what's in the box. You can't just have dudes that are saying, "Hey, this is a good theory," or "These are good mechanics." That doesn't freaking win baseball games.
I totally agree with that. Oh, I'm looking real quick at a power rankings right here. And obviously you have to put the Rays number 1, right?
Yeah.
They got the Brewers number 2 here and the Yankees number 3 here. Going down the list, whatever. But hey, let's go back to the Pirates, man, because I saw this over the weekend. First of all, it's like you never want to see an almost brawl on Easter Sunday, but it always happens at like on weird, like, you know, holidays, like things like that happen. But horrible news for the Bucks because the guy we've been hyping up for weeks goes down. It looked like it just shows you how fast the game of baseball is, and I think that's what started the brawl. Was like, not that it was a full out brawl, but like it's just such a fast game and emotions are running so high and plays are so bang bang. Can you walk us through what you saw on that and what your take is on the whole situation?
Yeah, you know, O'Neal Cruz, he came in, play at the plate. Who was the catcher? Zavala.
Right.
Sebi Zavala. You know, he wasn't even blocking the plate, really. His foot was right on the dish. He gave him a lane. And you've been there as a player. It's like kind of this weird moment where it's like you get caught. You're about 5 feet from the catcher. You're like, oh, my God, I haven't slid yet. So I got it. You feel like you're going to stand up, but you can't do that anymore. So then you're like, okay, I got to get down. And he got down like awkwardly. And those guys that are catchers are like rocks, man. They're just the thickest dudes on the field. And their legs are tree trunks. So if you're sliding into them, you know, there's many a time that base runner ends up getting the worst end of that.
Yeah.
You know
and they're
wearing
body armor.
Yeah, they're wearing body armor, exactly. So, you know, O'Neal Cruz came in. It just was an awkward slide, and he ends up catching Zavala, and Zavala was not happy about it. He ended up turning around. What are you doing, dude? Like,
right.
But then he didn't realize Cruz is ankle was fractured.
Right.
Obviously, he's out 10 to 12 weeks with a
and so
fractured.
then the Bucks run out there because they're pissed.
Yeah, then
I don't really blame anybody for that. I think that was just an emotional moment.
Yeah, it's all good. You don't really know the full story, and that you get emotional when you hear other players yelling at your players. It doesn't matter why they're yelling. You're going to defend that guy, and obviously the bench is clear. There's no punches thrown, but it's just an unfortunate situation for the Buccos because they're playing good baseball. Cruz is the guy you think has a chance to actually be a superstar on that team. And, it's unfortunate for the Pirates, an unfortunate situation for baseball.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we said there's so many other storylines going right now, and right before we came on, you were like, wait, what about this? What about that? What about this? Why don't you give me one right now?
Yeah, what about Jordan Walker, dude?
There we go.
I mean, the headline, Walker ties Ted Williams with 9-game hitting streak to open career. Jordan Walker, this kid's a stud.
Yeah.
He's only 20 years old, super young. While 20 years old or younger is something that only position players. Eddie Murphy, 12 games. I don't think the guy did delirious. Not that guy. Not that guy. Not that Eddie Murphy.
No.
Or what's the movie? Coming to America.
Coming to America.
That Eddie Murphy. Hall of Famer Ted Williams and the young Cardinal star, the only people that have accomplished this since 1900, dudes. This is a big thing. This kid's a stud, man.
6'6", 245.
6'6", 245. And when you have guys like Arenado and Goldschmidt saying at camp, this guy's better than us. This guy's going to be better than us. That's high praise.
Yeah.
So he's hitting 353 already, a couple home runs, couple bombs. But the one thing I love about Jordan Walker, the confidence.
Yeah.
He just seems like, I deserve to be here. There's one thing when you get called up and you're like, oh, you're taken back. There's another thing when you get called up and you dominate. You see those guys, have some pretty incredible careers when you're a prospect like he is.
Yeah. Great quote from Freddie Peralta, who gave up on him. He goes, quote, "He's a big dude. As soon as I saw him at the plate, I was like, my God, I had no idea how to throw him. Like I had a plan, but it's different when you're on a mound and you see him. I think he has a great feel to him. I was like, what am I going to do? You can tell his second AB, he got me with the slider. He hit it really hard. He's good looking." I agree with everything you just said. That's a great quote. That's a great quote by a professional ball player, pitcher saying that. I got a little Dave Winfield in my head, like a little bit when you're talking about the swagger and the size and being a good hitter. That's the thing about that separates Winfield from like a lot of the bigger, stronger.
Right.
Back then, Winfield was probably more like 225, 230, but that's just how guys were built then. I think like very similar built, like a little more jacked than when he was, but.
And Dave Winfield had that stride. It looked like he was going to stride to the pitcher.
Yeah,
it was like he was a pitcher.
His
stride was so, and just looking to chop down and rip. I mean, they hit the ball so freaking hard. But that's a great comp, Chinch. Great comp and also, when you look at a guy like Walker and Winfield, those big guys, sometimes it's tough getting your arms extended. You got to have electric bat speed, and that's what I see. Winfield had it. Walker has it. It's fun, man. It's fun to see the young guys doing well out the gates. He made the team on the last day of spring, and off we go.
Yeah, I always love seeing the young guys do great. Go ahead.
Adley Rushman too, man. Another 4-for-4 game yesterday. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy's on fire, hitting close to 400.
Yeah.
Is he? Let's see if I got that right. I think he's hitting like 380 or something, but he's 389 raking.
Yes. 389. He's got 2 dingers.
Yeah.
6 ribbies, 20 total bases, and 36 at bats. That's good so far, right?
Yeah. Yep. And the AL East looks really good too. Dave.
AL East is fun. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah,
turns out there's a lot of good teams in that.
You mentioned Rushman, man, and I got to I watched it. Whatever game, I don't know who they were playing, but I got to watch a whole game with him, and your Buster Posey comp is so great because he just looks cooler than everybody else. He looks calmer, but he's also got a smile on his face a lot of the times. I love watching him. I love watching
Such a great dude. Yeah, he's a guy you want to turn on the game and like, let's see what Rutschman does.
Yeah.
Almost like when Bryce Harper first came up, I'm like, I got to watch that Nationals. I just want to see what Harper does.
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of watching guys, all right, do you have any other like quick notes on any other guys you're popping up?
No, there's some good stuff, but that's what popped out at me.
No, I like that. I like all of it. Okay, I got a thing for you because we were talking about, what was it the other day? We were talking about you hugging Griffey after, what was it, his 400th or 500th home run?
500th.
All right. I'm looking at the home run leaders right now. First, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the home run leaders. I'm going to rip down a list because this is a fun list. These are like the power guys in the game. You got Alonso. You got Brian Reynolds, who's just on fire. Those guys both have 5. They're the horses in the lead.
Yeah.
But then you got, look at these guys. Adam Duvall, Aaron Judge, Devers, Luis Robert Jr. is legit right now. Wander Franco, he can hit bombs. Jason Hayward's got 3. Stanton, Trace Thompson has 3 in one game, and then Trout hit a couple over the weekend that were out of control, and Bogarts. I got a couple guys on this list. You got Stanton, you got Trout, you got Judge, and I'm going to put Alonso on this list. Do you see? Give me the potential of those 4 guys hitting 500 home runs.
Trout's 100% going to get the. I mean, he's at 350 right already.
I think so. Yeah.
So like 300. He's at 300. Trout's going to get it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think he's starting to learn to hit home runs. If that's even crazy, impossible.
He's been pelting that. They got that truck out in the
car,
outfield.
yeah.
He just keeps hammering it in the gap. He's been hitting homers consistently into their cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where's Stanton? Where's Stanton? He's like, is he at 400?
That's a good question. Hold on, Stanton.
He's got a lot. And if he gets to 500, is that enough to be the Hall of Fame worthy? You know what I mean?
His average is not as bad for a home run hitter as most guys. He's a career 264 hitter. He's got 381. I gotta think he's playing enough to. I gotta think he'll.
Yeah.
He's only 33.
Well, he's only 33. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a hard 33 though. Wouldn't you say, like, injury wise?
It's a worn
injury wise.
It's a worn out 33. Like he's gotten beat up over the years, not to his own fault either. Like broken hands and shit.
Dude, I think Alonso is one of the quickest to 150 right ever. I got a feeling that he just has to stay healthy and he'll have a chance to get to it. There's no doubt about it. But I think the money on all that definitely is Trout.
Okay. So Alonso's 28 years old. He's got 151, but he hasn't played as long. He started at 24 years old, but don't forget we're a little jaded here because 2020 nobody played that much. Everybody played 50 games because of the COVID.
Right.
But so technically, like you're looking at 53, 37, and 40 in his 3 full years.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. What about?
But dude, that's what I mean. But 500 homers is a lot.
It's a lot. That's the thing.
So think about 500 homers. That's why when you look at a guy like Pujols, 700 homers, 3,000. Those are just stupid numbers. And the consistency, you have to like stay healthy and you have to put up 30 home run years consistently.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say
450 homers is 30 homers a year for 15 years, right?
Exactly. I'll give you even more perspective. Aaron Judge, who we arguably, I mean, he's technically the single season home run king in a lot of people's minds. He's had a season of 52 already. He's had a season of 62 already. He's 31 years old, and he has 224 homers.
Right, exactly.
So he has to duplicate
280 more.
He needs to be better in this contract than he has been in his other contract, and he's got a number 2 MVP, a number 1 MVP, and a number 4 MVP voting in his career, and he has to be better than that to get to 500 homers, I think.
Yeah.
Look at what Sheffield didn't get to 500, did he?
Yeah, he did. He got to.
That's right. He got to 500 with the Mets.
He got to 500. Yeah,
I thought that was 400.
Dude, you know what's great when I think about 500 homers? I think this is like that number's a big deal. And as a player, when you're around guys that are maybe they're closing in on 500. I remember playing against Jim Thome when he was with the Phillies. He hit his 400th homer against us in Philly. It was incredible. I hit a home run in the 10th to win that game. No big deal. Anyway, no, when I look back, but dude, one of the coolest stories really, really quick, Jim Thome, when he hit the 400th homer, there was a rain delay in like the 4th or 5th and he'd already hit it. And he asked me, he had gotten a first, I think, for the walk or the game before. Hey, what are your kids' names? Oh, Andrew and Jake. That's all I had at the time. Dude, at the break, he sends me over like 2 ticket stubs. 2 Andrew, 2 Jake, 400 homer, Jim Thome. How cool is that?
No way.
How cool is that?
Unprompted.
On his own.
You didn't ask him for it.
Yeah, that's Jim Thome for you, dude. One of the greatest humans ever. So cool. But I think about this, Chinch. I'm on Ken Griffey Jr.'s team. Obviously one of the greatest ever. I watch him hit his 500th homer in St. Louis. What a moment, dude. Junior homers. You know, we all know the moment. Ken Griffey Sr.'s there. Melissa's there with the kids, and he was just like, just an incredible moment. So junior homers give a chance to give him a hug. Then he goes over, gives his dad a hug, who was our hitting coach for a few years. So that was so cool. Right around the same time, Sammy Sosa hits his 500th home run against Scott Sullivan in Cincinnati. So I get to witness that. Witnessed it. Boom, here he comes. I'm like, this is incredible, right? I see Griffey. I see Sosa. 2008, I'm with the Red Sox. Manny Ramirez.
Oh,
bam.
my God.
500th homer. Yeah, dude, 3 500 homers. I was there. I was on the team for 2 of them and saw Manfred for 3. Incredible. And I go back to the greatest home run chase ever in 1998. Sosa McGuire, whatever you feel about it, it was incredible. It was my rookie year. McGuire hit 60 against us, I believe, in Cincinnati. No. In St. Louis, number 60 off Dennis Reyes, I believe. And it was just such a cool moment. So I've had, like, you look back, you look at home runs and how romanticized they are in this game. To see 3 500 home run club guys, be there when it happened.
That's crazy.
I'm great. One of the coolest moments of my career, dude.
Question. Were you playing first when Sammy hit his 500th?
Yeah, I was playing first.
Okay, question number 2, follow-up. Did you shake his hand when he rounded?
No. But I was gonna. But if McGuire hit 62
you were gonna jump on McGuire's back and ride him around the bases.
Here's the crazy thing about that. No, seriously, I was. He hit 60 against us. Then the Cubs came into St. Louis for 3 games. This is what it was. So I was like, oh my God, it's incredible. He's gonna hit 62 against us. And what am I gonna do? I said, what am I gonna do? When he rounds first, I'm gonna give him a humongous hug and be like, you're the greatest of all time. And what's funny is, dude, he ends up hitting it the night before they come to St. Louis. He hits 62 in St. Louis against Chicago, and Mark Grace, just a great moment. He high-fived him. I don't know if it was a hug, but a high five. But I kept thinking to myself, because, dude, he hit 62. They came to Cincinnati the next night. Tony La Russa didn't have him in the lineup initially. McGuire went to La Russa. Yeah, when the lineup came up in our dugout, we're like, McGuire's not going to play. There's 55,000 people that came here to Cincinnati tonight. So I guess he went up to La Russa and was like, listen, I got to play tonight because, I just broke the record and, I got to be in the lineup for the crowd. I just thought it was a cool thing for McGuire to be in the lineup that night. But
that's good.
Yeah, dude, I was going to give him the biggest bear hug you ever seen in your life. They'd be like, who's this Sean Casey guy? I'm like, if you send me down, at least I hugged Mark McGuire on 62, baby.
Is McGuire the one who's like, but you were kissing at first base one day when they were trying to move you like into a different position?
Yeah. Dude, we intentionally walked McGuire. I'm like, I got to get a conversation. I was like, at that point in my career, I was 23. I was like, I don't know when I'm getting shipped out of here. I was like, I got to get as many conversations, autographs in as I can. And the only conversation I wanted to have was with McGuire. I mean, he was like literally like the hottest celebrity in the world. So, dude, I post up next to him. I'm like, dude, and I'm 23. And I don't care at this point. I just want to get a conversation. I'm like, oh, Big Mac. I'm like, having a great year, man. It's incredible. I was like, I can't believe we didn't pitch you right there. How's your son doing? I see he's the bat boy. I'm going to this whole thing. McGuire must have been like, who's this idiot? And I'm like, this is so cool, man. So, dude, as we're talking, I don't realize, but McGuire behind me, Jack McKeon and them are trying to get me to play behind McGuire because obviously he's not stealing. But I'm like, I'm holding him on because I want to get a conversation. Right. And so McGuire's like, hey, Sean, he's like, I think they're trying to get your attention in the dugout. I turn around, they're like, what are you doing, man? Play behind them. They've been yelling for like 5 minutes. The catcher's out. I don't even really, the catcher stopped. Everyone stopped. But I'm like so enamored with McGuire. Like, dude, you're such a good player. You have such big muscles, and your son's the bat boy. It's incredible.
This is so good. By the way, I just pulled up Sosa's 500th home run. You're not even in a shot, man. You're not even.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
I must have been. Maybe I'm in the dirt.
You're probably playing deep in case you went oppo and ripped your head off with one of his roid liners.
One of his
screaming, fiery roid line drive the opposite way.
Oh my God.
I don't care, man. I loved watching him. He was one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
I mean, take everything else away, but like, remember he won when he did the Remember 9/11 happened.
Brought the flag out. He brought the flag out to right.
Because first of all, that's the other thing too. At Wrigley, at the start of every game, when he would do a full sprint and run,
Dude, they loved him, bro.
He's a god.
You
there.
never
They
seen
won't
a
bring him
fandom.
back. They don't bring him back.
I know. Dude.
Would you bring him back at this point? Yes, wouldn't you?
Yes,
That's a good.
dude. There was fandemonium there, dude. And dude,
Amazing.
I guess it ended weird with Sosa there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It ended.
But you know what? It ended weird with the Yankees with Yogi Berra. But guess what? They eventually made amends. Look, you can't make that much money off a human being and then just go tisk tisk tisk. We're never going to talk. Now, granted, maybe there is some sort of inside baseball stuff that might have been really really bad.
There's definitely some stories out there that.
Oh, you got some dirt. We'll talk offline on this one.
Whatever, yeah.
Oh wait, I think I know.
Not dirt, but I know there was hard feelings at the end.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all. I just know there was hard feelings at the end.
Yeah. Well, Cliff Floyd's always hanging out with Sammy down in Miami.
Is he? Well, Cliff hangs out with everybody.
Cliff hangs out with everybody.
You go to Cliff's.
Like, hey, here's me and Scottie
Dude,
Pippen.
the guy knows
Here's
everybody.
Cliff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the coolest. Because Cliff's the coolest. I've hung out with Cliff, and I'm like,
Dude.
I'm so cool. I'm hanging out with Cliff Floyd.
Cliff Floyd.
You know?
Yeah, he's the best. Those guys party down
Best.
there. Anyway, all right. Well, good start to the week.
You're like, man, I want to be at one of Cliff's parties with Sammy Sosa.
Anyway, those guys, whatever. We had a great start to the week. Your son's gone, or they're sticking around for another day? They just
I'm gonna go take a couple rips with my son right now.
Love it.
And then we're gonna go to the Pirate game tonight, and then he's heading back tomorrow morning.
Okay.
My other son Andrew's driving back today.
Awesome.
In a couple hours. Yeah, about an hour.
Say hi to those fellas for me. Keep ripping.
Thank you, brother.
All right, dude.
All right.
Let's get after it, man.
Brother,
Let's
yeah,
have a
hey,
good
man,
week.
Chichi, have a great. Yeah, let's start the week. Let's go. And everyone out there listening, we appreciate it. And keep listening. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see everybody tomorrow.